down the speed. They got to him here in the second half. Now they've got to come up with a counter to that and maybe do something different.
37 yards on the punt with no return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
On 2nd and 9, Kaiser. Pass hauled in by the 6'4" tight end Sternberger. And he's going to get this deep onto Arizona's side of the field. It's a big play that time for the Packers. 45 yards. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. From the gun, Kaiser to the end zone, but it's incomplete. He was trying to hit Melvin Gordon there. And it's 2nd down. Something we haven't really seen much of from him, an incomplete pass.
Yeah, last week he finished at 70%. This week he's up over 80%. I don't know how you slow him down. Pass rush is usually the best way because a quarterback on his back usually can't complete a pass.
Down to the 6-yard line on a pickup of 6 as he gets halfway to the goal line.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. Boy, that's a 5-yard loss. 4th down now. We're off to the 4th quarter here in Week 15. Happy holidays to all. And that'll do it for the end of the 2nd quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. And this one is right through. And the lead will grow. It's now 17-0. So with that, you figure this game's pretty much out of reach at this point.
Yeah, it's going to take a heck of a comeback to come from 3 scores down. But don't change that channel. Don't go away. Miracles can happen, and you want to be here in case it does.
You're a company man.
Aren't I, though?
This fielded at the 2. Then he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being...
And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. Rashawn Gary in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. And the window closes quickly. He'll only get up to the 22-yard line. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back, those are the ones you focus on and want to take away. And they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
Now Murray, well, it's a shuffle pass, and it's complete. They'll give him a yard on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down. You got the big lead defensively, willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Here comes the Cardinals punter now. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. 47-yard punt, a return of 4. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. With this lead and the football, things obviously looking good, but maybe, you've taught me this before, maybe this is where the defense is hoping that the offense helps them preserve that shutout that they've got going.
And it has to be in the minds of the offense that they know how rare it is to get a shutout. So take care of them, protect them, take care of the ball, move it downfield, run the clock down. You don't want your defense to have to go on the field again the rest of the game. Reward them.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up, 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Kaiser. And he slings one that's incomplete. He was looking that time to get it to Paris Campbell, and it's 3rd down. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
On 3rd down, Kaiser. And that is incomplete.
See, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe he didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, 4th quarter. Maybe you do start to watch. Is the arm there, the leg's still there? This has been a tough game. Here's J.K. Scott now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds. Arizona's offense at the line, ready to get their drive started. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
They'll keep it on the ground. Carr. They'll only get a couple up to about the 30.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
The Cardinals on 3rd down. They're struggling. 0 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 8.
14's the mic. 14's the mic. Let's go.
Shotgun now for Murray. And he can't come up with a pick. Nearly his 2nd of the game. Instead, 4th down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Here comes the Cardinals punter now, as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. Call that a 46-yard punt, though they did get 9 back on the return. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
Kaiser to throw it this time. And he rifles one incomplete.
One thing I have learned, receivers don't mind high throws so much to the sideline, but do that over the middle to them, and not only are the DBs going to throw a little verbal trash their way, when they get back to the huddle, they're going to have a few words to say to their QB, aren't they?
Yeah, hung out to dry a little bit there on the high throw. Luckily fell incomplete. Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect. Great coverage there all around. Really didn't have many options to throw the football.
Very little chance that that one was going to be completed. Every receiver was locked up.
On fourth down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. This is taken at the 23. It'll be a 44-yard punt, 6 on the return. And the Cards will take over, 1st and 10. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And right now, these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
Now here's a throw, and that's Taywan Taylor with it. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. Not able to get a single yard there, and it'll bring up 3rd down.
And that's when it's fun to play defense. When you're able to diagnose a play right from the beginning, get all your guys to the football and spill the play, that's when you have a lot of fun playing on that side of the ball.
The Cardinals on 3rd down, as bad as you can be, 0 for 7 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. The defense stiffens to force 4th down following that first down gain of 8. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Cardinals, they've got the football here as we get you reset. They come up on a 4th down situation with things not looking particularly rosy. Now Austin. A 46-yard boot, but just 36 following a pretty decent return of 10 yards. And it'll be Packer football here, 1st down and 10. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
33 yards that time. Boy, another big play late here for an offense, Charles, that certainly has had its fair share of big plays.
Coverage has been a problem all game long. And I would say that going along with that has been confidence. Because even if they had the right coverage, they've still dented them. And now it's been a real issue for them during this game.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game. And they reacted poorly on that one.
So a 1st and 5 now after the 5-yard penalty from the neutral zone infraction. Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
I remember a coach telling me a long time ago the difference between playing corner and safety in the NFL. Corner is like the Autobahn. Everybody just flying by, and these corners have been really busy in this game, although they got it done on the last play.
On the last play, yes, but there have been some good numbers put up against them offensively. And they're throwing here. Kaiser. Being chased out left. Now he'll pull it down. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Cardinals' 20-yard line.
Man, defensively, that hurts. They got him out of his rhythm. They had him hemmed in, but somehow he was able to tuck it away and get away for a gain.
From the red zone now, Kaiser. And this one's incomplete. And the incompletion there stops the clock. Any surprise they're throwing here late?
Ordinarily, yes, because you would think enough is enough. They've got plenty of lead, but I've seen this a bunch of times as well. The defense is going to crowd the line of scrimmage. If you just hand it off inside, you're getting your running back popped a lot as well. Sometimes the defense dictates it. If they're going to crowd it, you may have no other choice but to throw it downfield.
Got Gordon open, completes it. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got two more to use here in the final stages. The last completion actually lost a yard, so now they'll need to convert on third down. Operating from the gun, Kaiser. He's going to be sacked back at the 23-yard line. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it, but it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
And the kick is good, so you wonder how this one might be remembered the next time these two teams meet. But until then, this game's over. Well, a little drama there at the end, but really this thing was already decided. The late points get scored, and then it ends on the kickoff.
And I'm right there with you, partner. At the end of the game, they knew what they had to do. Just make sure you don't cough up the football at the end. Just take care of it, and victory was theirs, and that's exactly what they did.
So for Green Bay, they continue to roll as the win gets them to 12-2 on the year. And they'll get another road date next week as their opponents will be the Pittsburgh Steelers. Meanwhile, for the Cardinals, this was basically just an exhibition game for them as they'd already clinched home field advantage. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.
Tell me what you want, what you need. Tell me what you wanna give. How much blood would you bleed? I'ma tell you I'm a